Okay, so here's a slick little gear trick I've learned recently about using zip ties and D-rings, and we're using the non-mountain climber type D-rings. But zip ties and D-rings to secure a lot of gear on your gear, especially tool items, small items, two-way radios. A lot of times these things can and do come with pouches, but the pouches may not be compatible with a MOLLE system, or they may not be practical all the time. Or you shift the items from place to place or gear to gear. For example, these are some relatively everyday care items that I'll switch from pack to pack, and I like to know where they are. So I really prefer to have them on the outside of a pack, and they're old enough that I'm not overly concerned about, a $29 pocket knife that's been pretty well used. So I like to snap these onto the carabiners, or they actually has its own little built-in carabiner type clip. Goes onto the middle ring. It'll last, long time that way. Little two-way radios. Something I learned over at the Harbor Freight store because of the way they organize their own stuff. They use these radios a lot, and the belt clips, not incredibly secure. They break easily. I've been in training scenarios where groups were using these things and high-speed driving maneuvers. You try to clip it to it's not practical to always have it in your pocket while you're driving. It doesn't work all that great to try to clip it to the sun visor, but there's ways you can secure stuff or hang stuff on a little carabiner, especially if you got shoulder straps or something on you. You can secure these things pretty easily. And but this is what they use at a local Harbor Freight store where I got the idea. So they just use a zip tie. You run the zip tie through whichever little strap mounting point is for the strap. Put a zip tie carabiner on there, and there you got a slick little setup. You want to think about some of these items like flashlights. As long as you can get a zip tie on something, you can get a carabiner on it. And basically you put the zip tie on the small end of the carabiner, and there you go. Little tip of the day. And you can actually scale this up with larger carabiners. Here I've got a zip tie on the handle of this chainsaw. Doesn't interfere one bit with the function and use of that chainsaw. And when I want to store the saw, let's say in a vehicle or in that mobile trailer that I have, you'll see the mobile workshop and some other videos, I can hang it. And by hanging it, it's still secure. It's loose, it's readily accessible, but it's hung. And if I have a strong enough belt type of arrangement, I can hang this from a belt or a sling or off the edge of a carry bag and keep my hands free when I'm hiking through the woods. Because obviously nobody makes shoulder slings for chainsaws, but if you want to improvise little straps so you can keep your hands free while you're going through the woods, or this could attach to the back of certain types of attachment points on some backpacks. Again, not super tactical, stealthy, but a really good utilitarian way to do things. Keeping your hands free, moving around, and then securing things in vehicles so that they don't become a deadly type of a thing that's flying around, let's say in a case of a vehicle accident or rollover incident. So, I think carabiner, zip tie, practical places to put them. Put the zip tie on the small end of the carabiner, leave room for it to open, and there you go.